Jimmy Butler's story does not begin with privilege, visibility, or inevitability. It begins with instability. Born on September 14, 1989, in Houston, Texas, Butler's childhood carried emotional turbulence that would later forge his competitive identity. At 13, he was asked to leave his mother's home. The reason, as he has shared publicly, was tied to appearance and tension. Regardless of the specifics, the effect was clear. He was suddenly navigating adolescence without a permanent home. For a stretch of time, Butler relied on friends for shelter. Nights were negotiated. Stability was temporary. Eventually, he found consistency with the family of Jordan Leslie, a high school friend whose mother opened her home to him. That household did not offer indulgence. It offered structure, expectations, accountability. Butler has often credited that environment for providing the discipline and emotional steadiness that later defined his professional persona. At Tomball High School, Butler was not nationally celebrated. Recruiting services did not place him among elite prospects. He averaged respectable numbers, but lacked the exposure pipeline that feeds blue-chip programs. His athleticism was solid but not breathtaking. His skill set was developing but not polished. What separated him, even then, was endurance, mental and physical. He trained relentlessly, prioritizing conditioning and defensive engagement. With limited Division I scholarship offers, Butler enrolled at Tyler Junior College. Junior college basketball is transactional and unforgiving. Every possession is a resume entry. Butler embraced the grind. He sharpened his perimeter defense, improved his mid-range mechanics, and expanded his strength training. Coaches recognized his willingness to guard the opponent's most dynamic scorer. He did not negotiate defensive assignments. After one season at Tyler, Butler transferred to Marquette University. Under head coach Buzz Williams, he entered a structured system emphasizing effort and cohesion. Initially, Butler played a complementary role. He earned minutes through discipline, cutting decisively, rotating defensively, and attacking mismatches when presented. By his senior year, Butler averaged 15.7 points and demonstrated versatility, capable of defending wings, initiating offense and secondary actions, and operating from the elbows. Scouts evaluated him as a mature, coachable prospect with high defensive value but questioned whether he possessed star-level offensive upside. In the 2011 NBA Draft, Butler was selected with the 30th overall pick by the Chicago Bulls, the final pick of the first round. No fanfare accompanied the selection. Chicago's roster featured established veterans and playoff expectations. Butler entered as a depth wing. His rookie season was modest. Limited minutes, defined defensive assignments, gradual acclimation to NBA physicality. Yet internally, Butler's trajectory was accelerating. He committed to off-season skill expansion, ball handling drills, footwork refinement, strength conditioning. Opportunity arrived when injuries reshaped the Bulls' rotation. Butler responded with stamina few anticipated. He logged heavy minutes without visible fatigue. His defensive presence expanded. Offensively, he began attacking closeouts with authority, absorbing contact to reach the free throw line. The 2014 to 2015 season marked structural transformation. Butler averaged over 20 points per game and earned the NBA's Most Improved Player award. He was no longer a defensive specialist. He was a primary option. His mid-post game flourished, pivot counters, controlled fades, strength-based finishes. He earned all-star recognition and assumed leadership responsibilities within the locker room. Butler's offensive architecture relies on calculated aggression. He manipulates defenders through pacing rather than speed alone. He thrives in isolation from the elbows and short corners, reading foot positioning and exploiting leverage. His free throw generation rate consistently ranks among elite wings, a testament to physicality and timing. Following his Chicago tenure, Butler was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The move reconnected him with coach Tom Thibodeau, but introduced a young roster still forming competitive habits. Butler's leadership style, direct, demanding, uncompromising, created friction. The now infamous practice session, in which he led reserves against starters and dominated, became symbolic of internal tension. Yet the competitive point was unmistakable. Butler expected intensity that mirrored his own. His insistence on conditioning, defensive communication, and accountability was not performative, it was foundational. A subsequent trade delivered him to the Philadelphia 76ers for the 2018 to 2019 season. In Philadelphia, Butler demonstrated post-season adaptability. He assumed late-game playmaking duties, stabilizing half-court offense during tight playoff contests. His series against Toronto in 2019 showcased clutch execution before Kawhi Leonard's buzzer beater ended the 76ers' run. Butler averaged over 19 points in that postseason, often operating as the team's most reliable closer. In 2019, Butler signed with the Miami Heat. The franchise's Heat culture, a philosophy emphasizing conditioning benchmarks, defensive intensity, and mental toughness, aligned seamlessly with his ethos. Under Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley, Butler became both strategic fulcrum and emotional thermostat. The 2020 NBA bubble elevated his national stature. Within isolated conditions in Orlando, Butler delivered one of the most iconic finals performances in recent memory. Facing LeBron James and Anthony Davis, Butler recorded multiple 40-point triple-doubles. In Game 5 of the finals, he logged 47 minutes, orchestrating offense while defending at a high level. The image of Butler leaning over the scorer's table, exhausted yet resolute, became emblematic of competitive endurance. Although Miami fell short in 6 games, Butler's legitimacy as a franchise leader crystallized. He had proven capable of carrying a roster through elite opposition under extreme psychological conditions. The playoff Jimmy phenomenon is measurable. Butler's postseason usage rate increases. His scoring average climbs. His free throw attempts spike. He embraces physical collisions when games slow into half-court battles. His shot profile shifts toward calculated rim attacks and mid-range pull-ups. In 2022, Butler propelled Miami to the Eastern Conference Finals, delivering multiple 40-point performances. In 2023, as the 8th seed, Miami stunned higher-seeded opponents. Butler dismantled Milwaukee in the first round with explosive scoring outputs, including a 56-point masterpiece that ranked among the highest playoff totals in franchise history. Defensively, Butler remains elite in anticipation. He disrupts passing lanes with calculated risk. His lateral agility allows him to switch across perimeter assignments. He communicates rotations with precision, anchoring Miami's aggressive defensive schemes. Leadership under Butler is exacting. Teammates are expected to meet conditioning thresholds. Practices emphasize repetition and accountability. While his intensity has generated controversy at previous stops, within Miami, it is institutionalized and supported. Off the court, Butler exhibits entrepreneurial instincts. During the 2020 bubble, he launched Big Face Coffee, selling premium coffee to fellow players. The venture evolved from humor into brand potential, illustrating business acumen and confidence. Financially, Butler has secured multiple maximum-level contracts. Endorsement partnerships and investments supplement salary earnings. His estimated net worth sits in the tens of millions, reflective of longevity and sustained elite performance. As Butler advances into his mid-30s, adaptation is central. Athletic explosiveness gradually yields to positional intelligence and strength-based scoring. He continues to refine footwork, leveraging angles rather than pure acceleration. Legacy analysis inevitably circles championships. While Butler has yet to secure an NBA title, his postseason resume, finals appearances, conference finals runs, historic scoring outbursts, cements him among the defining two-way wings of his era. Jimmy Butler's narrative is not linear, it is cumulative. Junior college transfer, late first-round pick, defensive role player, most improved player, all-star, finals leader. Each phase required recalibration. Butler represents resilience operationalized. Adversity did not fracture him, it structured him. Doubt did not silence him, it sharpened him. Every time postseason intensity escalates, Butler responds not with spectacle, but with execution. He is proof that projection models do not fully capture human will. That draft position cannot quantify competitive depth. That sustained discipline can elevate overlooked prospects into franchise pillars. Whether or not a championship ultimately crowns his resume, Jimmy Butler's impact transcends ring count. He has defined an archetype, the relentless competitor who converts hardship into leverage and pressure into performance. When playoff lights intensify and margins narrow, his presence signals one constant: resistance. And in an era shaped by super teams and shifting alliances, Butler stands as something rarer, a self-forged star whose edge was earned long before arenas ever chanted his name.